Yes, people, I hope you're good. I'm Jay Dillon, owner of TMT Agency, and over the past 4 years, I've generated tens of millions of dollars for creators on OnlyFans. In that time, I've also helped create multiple Instagram accounts with 100k followers plus, generating over 1 billion views this year alone. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I 3x'd one of my career's earnings in 30 days. And if you follow all the steps that you see in this video, you can too. Right, so the first thing that we did with this specific creator is understand the account's highest points of leverage. Now, what I mean by this is for what you do, what do you actually get back, right? You want to get the most amount of results for the least amount of effort, especially if you're trying to 3x your account earnings in 30 days, right? That's a big task. You want to, essentially you're trying to 3x the money you're making within 30 days, within 4 weeks. So you have to make sure that you are getting as much as you possibly can from what you are actually doing. And the only way you're going to do that is if you understand the highest leverage points, okay? So the first thing we actually did is identify those. And what we found with this specific creator is she had a poor click to sub, she had a bad funnel, okay? She had difficulty generating sales through the messages. And then also she had very high content creation, but zero direction. I'm gonna go into this in a bit more detail, but these are the highest leverage points that we found. Now, I recommend everyone do this right now. We can, we do account audits. This is the first thing that we do. I recommend you do this to yourself as well. Obviously, new year, new you, you wanna achieve new goals, and you are only gonna do that if you actually understand what's gonna bring you the most out of the things that you are actually doing. Does that make sense? Okay, so this is what we found, and I'm gonna go into this in a bit more detail. Right, so this is how we improved the click to sub in 4 very simple steps. We made the actual funnel itself way more simple than what it was. We had the funnel compliant with the meta rules. We had a continuation of brand, and then we had a link that opens up in browser. So now with Simple Funnel, I've already spoken about this before, but essentially imagine, right, you have water trying to reach its destination through a pipe, but in that pipe, there's like loads of different leaks, right? That water is obviously never gonna go and reach its destination because of all the leaks in the funnel. Now, how this applies to OnlyFans funnels is if you have a link in your bio, right, and in that link, right, there's a Telegram, there's a TikTok, there's a Twitter, there's an Instagram, there's the OnlyFans. All of those other links other than your OnlyFans is just a distraction for your fans, right? You're overcomplicating it. The whole idea of the link in your bio is for your fans to click the link and to go straight onto your OnlyFans, okay? So that is something that you need to fix immediately, and it's such an easy fix as well. You just take out the other links and that will instantly improve your click to sub, okay? Compliant funnel with meta rules, right? The rules are always changing and you need to have an 18+ link in your bio. We use Juicy Bio and Link Me, they work perfectly fine, but any other ones that don't have the 18+ and don't comply with the meta rules, they will get your Instagram shadow banned, and obviously that's gonna affect massively how many people are clicking the link to your OnlyFans. Continuation of brand, okay? So this is very important because a lot of people have you might have this brand, or that you are this girl next door on your socials, but if you click the link in your bio and it doesn't continue on that, then the fans are going to be confused, right? You're gaining an audience that want to see something, so you need to continue that on all the way to the content you are selling on your page. But it all starts with the link in your bio, right? If they click the link in your bio and you're supposed to be this girl next door and it's just filth, they're going to be put off straight away, okay? So you need to have a continuation of whatever your brand may be, right? You need to have a continuation of that, not only on your links, but to your actual OnlyFans page as well, okay? And now this is a big one. Link that opens up in your browser, right? This will keep these people logged in. So imagine, right, subscribing to an OF model is a very impulsive decision. So the more people need to think about it, the less likely that they're gonna subscribe, okay? Now, there's no bigger cock block than having to put in your details every single time you wanna try and subscribe to someone, which is why links that like Juicy or Link Me that will open in an external browser like Safari, this will keep these fans logged in. And now the only thing they have to do is just press subscribe and pay because they're already logged in. It's less friction, okay? The more you have a complicated funnel, the more friction you are adding to your fans. This model, she had like a 0.5 click to sub, and then she went, now she's got like a 2.5 just from changing these 4 things. Now that's like what, 5xing how many subs she's getting just from doing this. It's very important and it's very easy. Again, this is very high leverage. This will take you probably 30 minutes to do, and it will change how much you make for the next month and for the foreseeable just by doing this. Right, now let's talk about how we increased the sales that were in the messages, okay? So what we did is we understood the perceived page value, we understood building rapport in chats, and how to separate yourself from everyone else, okay? So perceived page value, okay? This is like when someone subscribes, what do they think of you, okay? This is very heavily down to what's on your feed, okay? So like, if people are subscribing to your page and there's like full explicit content on your page, which for this model there actually was, so her perceived value was very low at the start because people could just subscribe and just see loads of explicit content on her feed. That's not good, especially if you're going to try and sell to those people in the messages when they've already seen explicit stuff on your feed, right? Kind of look at the psychology of a Louis V bag, okay? How can Louis V charge you 5K for a bag when Primark can charge you £5 for a bag? It's just perceived value, okay? So, for example, for this model, right, this was on brand with her socials. We changed it. Whatever she's posting on her socials, we continued that on within the feed, right? This now improves the perceived value of her content, of herself, of even speaking to her, because people now don't think they can just subscribe and just get everything for free, okay? That is a big one. It's the psychology of the fans as well. That subscribe and just see whatever they want on your feed. If they see a madness, they're not going to pay anything because they're just going to go back to your feed, or they're not even going to go into the messages because they're going to get what they want from your feed. Okay, so the perceived page value is one of the hardest things to also fix as well, because it does take a little bit of time, but we did this for this model very quickly, okay? Now, building rapport in chats. This is where you need to understand what your fans are actually subscribing for. Like, a lot of these OnlyFans subscribers aren't actually there just for content. That's just the output of having a good relationship with the model, okay? So we don't have someone subscribe and just sell to them straight away, unless obviously you get the certain fans that just want to see someone straight away, you sell to them, that's fine. But 90% of them do not want that. They actually want an emotional connection with the model, which is why they are actually there in the first place. So if you can provide, the better the rapport is, the more they're going to spend on you. The more they're invested in you, the more they're going to invest in you. Does that make sense? And the only way you're going to do that is by adequate rapport building within the chats, okay? So now, separate yourself. This is something that we do very nicely with voice notes. If you don't use voice notes, please use them, because for some reason, these OnlyFans fans, they don't understand that these voice notes are pre-recorded. So put yourself in the shoes of this fan, right? This fan, he's not only just subscribed to you, he's probably subscribed to tens, if not hundreds of other OnlyFans models. So now if you were on his OnlyFans account, looking through his chats, all of these models, these other chatters, right, they're just saying, hey, hi, mass message, this, that, like all of them blend in the same. But when you send a voice note, you stand out way more, because they're thinking, oh, I'm actually speaking to the model here, there, and then she's actually sent me a voice note. I want to see what she said. You need to stand out. You are essentially competing against every other model that is also trying to make money through the sales, but everyone just does the same thing. They just send the most spammiest one-liner conversation starters, and then they're surprised why no one's in the messages making money. And this is, again, this is something that the model was struggling with, right? Remember, go back to one of the first whiteboards. She was struggling with actually making money in the chats. So we straight away identified that the perceived value of the page was in the mud, because everyone was just seeing loads of explicit content on a feed. So we improved that straight away. There was no rapport building. There was just too much sales. Pay-per-views were getting flowing out left, right, and center. We stopped that. We focused way more on the relationship. Focus on the input, and the output is the fans are invested, and you're getting whales, and you're getting people that actually care about the model and want to spend money. That is what you want. And then we separated the model by using voice notes, stuff on the feed as well, keeping it very aligned with her brand. All this kind of stuff makes her stand out, right? If you're doing the same thing as everyone else, you're going to get the same results, okay? Right, now let's talk about the marketing direction and how we fix this problem, okay? So the first thing we did is a content audit, okay? So this basically allows us to understand where are you getting the numbers you're getting so far, right? What videos are getting you these numbers and what platforms, okay? So for the verticals, and to find out what videos work well for you, what we do is we do like obviously a content audit over the last 90 days, find out the median of views, right? Have a look at all of the videos that you are posting, all the verticals, and what are they actually bringing in, right? What in terms of engagement, likes, follows, views, all of that stuff, and find out, numbers for your verticals. Okay, so very quickly we found out when, this model posted this specific vertical, she would get 4 or 5 times the amount of results than every other vertical. So we stripped away all them other verticals and we're only focused on the ones that were actually bringing in the best results based off the videos that she's already posting. Okay, and we did also, this helps out with the platforms, because what we found with this model is that she was getting 2% of her subs from X, 18% of her subs from Facebook, and 80% from IG. So now she was putting 100% of her focus, right? So 33%, 33%, 33% on 3 different platforms, when one of them was clearly the one that's bringing in the most. So we're obviously just stripped away these 2 and we're only focused on IG, and straight away she's seeing way better results because we are refining the focus with the content verticals that we already know is 4 or 5 times better than anything else she's posting. So if you're posting content that is doing better on a platform that is bringing you in the most stuff, that's going to, massively help how much results you're getting in straight away just by refining your focus. Okay, so the second thing with the marketing direction is the authenticity of content, right? It needs to align with your brand. So if you're posting content that you don't want to post, or you don't want to create, or you don't really believe in it, that shows, right? We're in an age where social media is craving authenticity. They just want people to be themselves. So this is where you can look at your interests, your hobbies, and you can get creative around these things, okay? And you can literally create verticals around the stuff that you already enjoy doing, and that just makes your life a lot easier as a content creator. If you're an OnlyFans model, your job isn't to be on the back end, to be, chatting to fans and doing all that other stuff. Your job is to be a content creator, and there's no better way of being a content creator when you can just be yourself. You don't have to pretend to be someone else just to get subs in, right? You can make your life fun by being yourself, by having content that is authentic, but more importantly, viral. Okay, and the only way you're going to do that is if you actually find out what is working well for you so far, right? And then you just be authentic. And then ideation, right? So this is database. So this model, she was struggling with procrastination. Okay, so she's working really hard, day in, day out, creating loads of content, but because she was doing everything by herself, because every day was like a new, it was like a new uphill battle of, right, what do I create a day? How many times do I create? She kind of burnt herself out, right? And when you look at stuff like this, like when you just zoom out and just look at the numbers, it becomes very apparent what you actually need to do. Now, obviously, this model, when she joined us, she had a team that will help her out with the ideation, that will help her with the plans, the ideas, how many she used to create. And we would take care of everything else, even down to the scheduling. But this is something that really helped this model, because the content that she would create, it would be authentic and it would be data based, knowing that it would work very well. If you are looking for a content audit from me or my team, we are more than happy to do so. Just drop me a message on my Instagram, which should be in the description somewhere down below. But this is everything that we did to help our model 3x her money made within 30 days. If you like this video, if you found it of any kind of useful help, please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.